Welcome to Integrity Inspire, your daily dose of inspiration and motivation, featuring the bright and talented members of the Integrity Marketing Group family. Now, here's your host, Integrity co-founder and CEO, Bryan W. Adams.
All right, Integrity family, thank you so much for joining us on today's Inspire podcast. We have been on quite a roll here lately, highlighting a bunch of family businesses that involve multiple generations. And that trend continues with our guest today, with John Bettis, the president of Eldercare Insurance Services in Hot Springs, Arkansas. John got involved in the insurance business early in life, learning from the best. His father, Tony Bettis, who's just an amazing guy and honestly has some of the most entertaining stories of anybody that I've ever met. But make no mistake, John is very much his own man, and he's put his own distinctive stamp on eldercare and the business that they've built, but also the insurance market in the U.S., and he always has this incredible, unsatiable desire to win, and to win doing it the right way. Under John's leadership, Eldercare has become one of the largest and fastest growing and most influential independent marketing organizations in the insurance industry in the U.S. As many of our integrity partners can attest, building a business is really hard work, and we've heard from some great stories about that. But sometimes taking an already successful business to the next level can even prove to be even more difficult, because Eldercare, as we'll talk about some today, was already an incredibly strong business, and John and his team with Jeremy and many other great people there have been able to even elevate it into even new heights through their hard work and dedication. And John's been able to really do that, and now the proud Bettis family legacy continues as part of a much bigger family here at Integrity. And one of the many things I love about John is he's absolutely motivated and driven to win, and failure is simply not an option with this guy. However, he has one of the biggest hearts of any humans I've ever met, and one of the most giving spirits of anybody that I've ever met. And so it's a fine balance when you find somebody who wants to win and ultra competitive and very driven, and also very giving and very loving and very just generous with his time and money and talents. And so I'm thrilled and grateful to have John Bettis, my good friend and buddy, join us here today on this podcast. John, thank you so much for joining us. You know how I feel about you. You know how much I love you, and I appreciate you joining us today and sharing some of your wisdom with all the people on this podcast.
Man, I really appreciate it, Bryan. It's a huge honor to be asked to be a part of this. To be honest with you, I'm a little nervous. I've got all the legends on the phone. I've got the most powerful insurance group in the world, as far as I'm concerned, on the phone. So bear with me a little bit, but I'm super proud to be on this call, and thank you for that introduction. I don't think I've ever been introduced like that before. You almost made me cry. I didn't even start it.
You've got such a big heart, and honestly, I'm the one who gets nervous whenever we get on these calls, because this is just such a great honor to be able to introduce you to a lot of our close friends. And honestly, these Inspire podcasts have done a lot of things, I think, for our business and really inspiring others and sharing stories. But the thing that really sticks out to me is it's like introducing really good friends to one another, where you get on the phone, and there's a lot of people here that you might not have met, or they may have not met you, and you get on this podcast, and we have an opportunity to try to make the world a little smaller get to know each other a little bit better and understand and frankly learn from what each other's doing. And so I'm excited to introduce you to a lot of my really good friends on here. And so I think this is going to be a lot of fun. So your dad honestly has one of the most incredible stories I've ever heard. I mean, he was literally a pool hustler, right? I mean, he was a pool shark at a bowling alley and would play pool for money, right? And then somebody said, "Man, you're pretty good at this. You ought to think about selling something," and talked him into going and selling insurance. And he left his pool cue back. I would never play him for money now, by the way. Nor would I play you for money. But he left his pool cue out, picked up a pen and some applications, and went on, to create one of the most admirable insurance businesses and careers of anybody. But you got started with working for your dad. Tell us a little bit more about how you got started in the business, kind of what those early days were like.
So yeah, you're right, Bryan. He was a pool hustler. My mom was working at the bowling alley at the front desk. This was at night, and they met each other working for. I was literally born into this. 1978. I had to get some facts straight. I had to call my mom. Working for Life and Casualty, selling debit insurance, and she was a receptionist, and he was he was selling during the day. And then they got to know each other, and somehow he talked her into running his debits for him. And for some guys on the call, you'll understand what that means. Some won't. But you're going out collecting, dollars from people. She said it was weekly, which is amazing to me that used to go on. But so he convinced her to do that while he could continue to sell new business to make a better name for himself, and then went on to get a contract. They started Eldercare in 1980, which was the year I was born. But continued to work the bowling alley. He didn't pool hustle anymore, but she continued to work the bowling alley and substitute teacher until I was 3 or 4 or 5 years old. And yeah, I was born into it. That's all I know. There are pictures of me folding we call them gray cards, league cards, whatever. I was my dad's league card machine when I was 4. He figured he didn't have to pay anybody to hurt. Yeah, is that even legal? Yeah, I don't think so. No, so yeah, I would fold and tab lead cards for him, and he would go sell. And we didn't have a lot of money back then, but I didn't know the difference. I was happy as I could be. Wow. That's the way I got into it.
That is awesome. So for those of you who don't know what debit insurance was, it was frankly before insurance companies were billing and able to send people bills or draft bank accounts. And so what you would have to do is you literally go around to your clients' houses every week and collect whatever premium they owed on a weekly basis. And so your mom, it's amazing to hear how it was truly a family business. Your dad would sell, your mom would collect the payments, and you would help figure out how are they going to get leads out there to meet new clients.
So it's the only job I've ever had. I often tell people, if I get a flat tire, I'm going to have to call somebody. If you want to talk to me about insurance, we can get down. That's what I know.
You can help them. So talking about family business, and you guys grew up in Arkansas, and your dad really built just a premier organization in Arkansas, and then you went to college, and then you came back, and then whenever you took it over, you expanded it way beyond Arkansas from that point. You guys are in every state. You're one of the most nationally recognized brands. Did you always expect, a little boy growing up in Arkansas, that you would be able to build this national brand and be able to do the things that you guys have been able to accomplish?
I didn't expect a whole lot because I didn't know any better as I was younger growing up. But once I figured out, hey, if other people can do it, I can do it. We can do it. So, I mean, I never had an expectation of being huge until I got a little taste of, a win or some success. And I thought, hey, we can do this. We just got to work hard, expand it, treat people right. And so that's what we did. But the expectation, no, it wasn't really ever there. It was just keep your head down, stay focused, treat people right, and it'll happen. And it started to.
Keep your head down, stay focused, treat people right. You're one of the most competitive people I've ever met, and winning and just kind of that desire to win, and to just be number one, is something that I know a lot of the people that are on this podcast that know you really well know that you just always want to. I mean, you come to win. You play to win. You're not just dabbling in there. What drives you so much whenever you talk about that kind of winning culture that you demand, frankly, of those around you and of yourself?
Well, who likes to lose? That's no fun.
I mean, drop the mic. Drop the mic.
Bam. No, really. I mean, you know what? I'll just a little story. The first, not long, but the first time that I was back from college, it was Central Reserve Life. It was with Peter Nauert. That's back in the day. We had a marketing campaign going, and my dad said, well, we're not in any of these states, and I don't think we can hire agents because there's other, NMOs, FMOs, whatever you want to call them, in those areas. And I just looked at him. I said, well, why can't we? And he couldn't answer me. He couldn't. And he said, you know what? I don't know. I said, well, let's get it. Let's go. And so we pulled all-nighters, me and Jeremy and a lot of people in my office, stuffing envelopes and calling agents on the phone, day in, day out. And we were number one with them, and I thought, man, you know what? And we made a little bit of money, and I thought, I can help people. I can hire more people. I can expand my company by doing this. So I kind of think the combination of that really inspired me to just I didn't want to lose.
Wow.
And that's just stemmed from there. The more you win, the more you can help and grow.
Well, you guys certainly do win. You win constantly. But one of the things I love about you, John, is you never really like to take the credit. You're always kind of deferring that credit. You're such a humble person when it comes down to that. And you it just didn't like what you were talking about. I mean, you were talking about Jeremy and the others in your office, and you always defer that. And you're always there to help people. If I had, all the time in the world, I could tell stories after stories about how much you help people, and how that's just kind of a core to your being. And where do you think that comes from?
I don't know. I to be honest with you, I mean, all of us in this business, to be on this call, you have had to have been successful. Integrity is, by the way, thank you for everything. Integrity is a part of this is the greatest organization I feel like there ever has been. And, to help people, it just something along the way, as you start making a little money and you provide opportunities for other people and to see what they're able to do with their families and with their careers and their self-confidence and, all of those things that make a person just, shine. As soon as I saw that I was able to do that for someone else, man, it was like a drug. I mean, I couldn't help it. It just, to me, we've all made money. All of us have, but that's just a means to help other people, because the feeling of someone driving up to your office in a new car because you know that you were able to provide an opportunity, thankfully, to them, and they took advantage of it. Man, that's just I don't know if you can beat it. It's, to me, there's no greater feeling in the world. So I try to do it as much as I can.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, I think you're right. I think that giving that ability to give gives life, right? If you take a step back on just the natural order of things, the way God made things in the world, giving breeds life. And so just as an example, there's two big lakes in Israel, and there's one called the Sea of Galilee. There's the other one called the Dead Sea. And in the Sea of Galilee, it takes in a lot of water from Lebanon and a bunch of other surrounding areas, but it also lets out life, and it creates this river called the Jordan River. If you've ever been there, it's just lush and beautiful, and there's the Sea of Galilee is teeming with fish, and just wildlife and just life, and then Jordan River ends up flowing into the Dead Sea, and the Dead Sea is this literally dead, salty, briny, big lake, effectively. And the reason that and there's nothing that can live in it. And the reason is because there's nothing, it doesn't give off anything else. It doesn't have a river that comes off of it. And so if you're just taking all the time, then you're going to be dying. At the end of the day, life just can't be supported. But if you're giving, like what the Sea of Galilee does, it creates all this new life. And that's one of the things I love about this business is this is a people helping people business. And the culture that you guys have built at Eldercare, and just that passion that you talk about of kind of helping others and encouraging others and wanting, not just wanting to win just for winning's sake, but wanting to help people, and as a byproduct you win. And the fact that, as you said, that is giving to others is almost like a drug, where it feels so good you want to keep doing it, and that's just the truth. In fact, you don't know I'm going to do this, but
yep.
I hope I don't.
What are you about
you,
to do to me, Bryan?
I think a lot of times. I mean, John, you're a good-looking guy, super successful. You have a lot of confidence. I think you can intimidate people, frankly, just because of your appearance and the fact that you're like, man, we're going to go out and we're going to win. So hold my beer and watch this, right? Type of mentality that we're going to win. And people don't really understand what motivates you. And as you kind of dig through that layer of the fact that you want to win so that you can help your employees, right? I remember when we did the employee ownership thing, and we came to your office, and I've never seen you cry like that, and just be so excited because you were helping other people. And there's so many different, I think the Better Business Bureau recognized Eldercare as like one of the number one companies in all of Arkansas on being able to help people, and some of the other things that you've just talked about is just so inspiring to me, and I've got a couple of examples about that. That I remember, and this one moved me so much, and I know you didn't share this with me to share it with others, but man, I just think this shows the heart of what you have, and just kind of that opportunity. Winning is something that we all want to do, but if we can do that and help others, it just makes it so much sweeter. So I remember whenever you joined Integrity, one of the things that we were talking about, and these are exciting times. It's when you build a business that's been around for 40 years and been ultra successful, and you join the larger Integrity family, and you get to recognize some of that value and the opportunity. The opportunity that I saw in your heart was you were like, listen, I want to help others. How can I help people through this? And you shared with me a story that you did you took care of your mom. Your mom was, you were
No,
raised by
you're
your
gonna
mom
go
and
there
dad.
on me.
And
All right.
and the fact that you wrote your mom this letter. In fact, you sent this to me about a year ago. But you said, "Mother, you have always done everything you could to make sure I was safe and had a roof over my head. It's time for me now to do the same for you. Please take this check and pay off your house. I love you, John." You gave your mom literally a blank check, and you said, "I've had this success." And you were raised by essentially a single mom that, and we heard some stories about that yesterday with Karen and just her encouragement there.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of single moms that work for us, and they just do all of this extra stuff. And so you being able to do that for your mom, man, inspired me. And so I want to say thank you for your giving spirit. I think that's why you're so successful and you continue to win, is because, like the Sea of Galilee, you freely let the water go out, and you not only take in life, but you also give life to others. And so, man, that story inspired me, my friend.
You got me choked up, Bryan. It's hard to talk right now. I appreciate that. I really do. But, that was something that I was so proud to do for somebody that taken care of me for so long. But it all stems down to, integrity brought me in and gave me an opportunity, and I expect to shine, and I want to win inside of integrity. It's hard to in a group full of legends like we're in, but you gave me an opportunity, so I spread that out to my mom and some people to help them out. But that's you will always win if you take care of folks. We've all been fortunate, but there, like you said, there are a lot of single mothers out there with kids at home and that have 30 minutes worth of work a day, which I know a lot of them are probably laughing right now because mine's probably already done with her schoolwork for the day. I mean, it's just so it's tough, and without that, without a team effort, none of us are anything. There's no. It's not I. It's we, and my team. And that's how we've always been. And that's how I've always been raised. And, we do what we can and inspire people to do more for themselves. That saying that I've heard it, help me help you. Well, that's legitimate. I mean, Jeremy and I have actually, and way in the past, but have had people thank us when we let them go because they've said, you gave me every opportunity in the world. For some reason, I wasn't able to do what I needed to do, whether it was family or whatnot, and we shake their hands and leave. But we've never had any. We don't fight. We don't yell. We try to do what we can for people, and if they want to grab that opportunity and run, we want to offer it to them and see people blossom. And man, if you could do that, if everybody could do that, God, could you imagine what we could build? I mean,
absolutely. It's
harder to imagine it getting any bigger, but I mean, we can. We really can, and we will.
That's called culture. What you guys have created, and what we're always working on is how do you create not only a winning culture, but a culture of serving others and helping others. I got one more story for you, because this proves that culture that your dad established and that what you and Jeremy and your team have established just really has an impact on people. When we partnered together, we sent out a press release, and I actually forward all the press release emails and videos to my mom and dad and to my in-laws, my mother-in-law and father-in-law. Part of the reason I do that is because I'm gone a lot. I travel a whole lot. And I just want them to see, like, hey, here are some of the things that I'm doing. And I want them to be proud of what we're doing, but also they help with my family a lot. My mom and dad and my in-laws are always trying to help out my wife on on taking care of the kids when I'm gone, and it's just a strain, right? I mean, it's especially as much as I travel. So I send all of them a copy of the press releases, and just kind of let them know. And whenever I send out the one about Eldercare joining Integrity, my father-in-law, who's the chief architect for a big company, and he sent me this message, and he said, Bryan, I never really understood what you do, and really that's a common issue. Is a lot of people don't understand just our overall business and the way that we help support agents. The agents are our customers, and then they go and help other agents, right? And so a lot of people don't understand that. And he said, I never really understood what you do until I read this press release. He said he grew up in Chicago, right outside Chicago, and his dad was an attorney, and his mom was a homemaker, and they retired down to Hot Springs Village, Arkansas, which is a big retirement community, and they retired down there, from Chicago to have better weather and play golf and is more affordable, etc. And he said that when they got down there, and his dad became eligible for Medicare, that they had a lot of questions and didn't know what to do and didn't know who to turn to. And so they ended up working with an agent from a company called Eldercare. And this agent just took great care of them, made sure that they got the plans that they needed if they ever had any issues, made sure that they got everything taken care of. And then when his dad passed away, Ron, the only person that my father-in-law, Ron, had a relationship with in Hot Springs was the Eldercare agent, one of y'all's agents. And he ended up, as soon as his dad passed away, he lives in Dallas, and so it's about a 5-6 hour drive to Hot Springs. And so the first person he called was the Eldercare agent and said, hey, my dad just died. My mom's sitting at home alone. Can you please go and sit with her and be there for her until I get there? And the Eldercare agent, he jumped immediately to it, was there within minutes, and sat there with my father-in-law's mother until he was able to arrive. And then even through that process, if Ron's mom ever needed something, if she needed somebody to help with yard work or something, the Eldercare agent would be the one who would volunteer, saying, hey, I can help you find a guy for that. I'm here to help you. And he wasn't getting paid to do any of that, right? He was just doing what was right, and it was all about helping people. So when my father-in-law read this press release and he saw Eldercare, he's in tears, and he said, now I know what you do, and the fact that you're associated with Eldercare makes me so proud. And essentially
awesome.
Said, I want to thank you guys for what you do. And so that culture of helping people that you and your family have established there, and I believe is the sole reason that you're so successful, is
I do too.
It helps people that you don't even know that you're helping. You're giving life to people. And so I talked to Ron last night, and I said, hey, can you just go over this story with me? Because I want to make sure I say it right. And he said, I just want you to tell John and his dad, thank you for creating that culture, because they were there for us when we needed somebody the most. And so I think
that's very cool. Man. Tell Ron that I'm going to find out who that was and thank them. And, you often hear your reflection of who you surround yourself with. I mean, our career guys are the best of the best. And I don't mean the best salesmen. I don't mean the best. They're great people. We're all great people. We try to be. We're all humans. But we try to be the best we can. And I've had insurance companies terminate my contracts because I wouldn't push their product over another one because it was more expensive for the same plan. And our philosophy has always been it doesn't matter what we get paid. It doesn't matter what the insurance company says to you, which, I mean, it does, but it doesn't. Take care of your clients, and everything will be fine. And that's the same, you know, like Integrity took care of us and is taking care of us. We take care of our agents. They take care of their clients. I mean, it's really simple. I mean, just to do the right thing for everybody, and things will happen. I mean, it's I don't think there's a lot of complicated science to that.
Yeah.
That's just what we do, and that's what we'll continue to do, always. Take care of people. And somebody's got to be taking care of them, and somebody's got to be taking care of them. It's a ladder effect, but it works. I mean, there's no that's the strategy that we've had that's made us successful, and we'll continue to keep that strategy always, no matter what. And I'm very glad that you and Integrity as a whole feel like that's the, you know, mentality that we all should have. It gives me a sense of comfort, because I love to win. And Anthony Chapman will call me and say, "Hey man, you're not winning. You're winning. You're winning." Or Mark, I mean, Mike White. They've been doing it to me my whole life. But what they were doing was making me want to win. I didn't know in hindsight that I was making money at the same time, so I could help other people to win more. It's a really neat deal. It's just, I don't know what we talked about, pay it forward and all that stuff. I mean, I'm blessed to be around the people that I'm around, and we've been very fortunate, and we're going to continue to stay with the same philosophy. But, you know, all you other, I mean, internally, love you, glad we're teams, but we are going to kick ass. Always. Not going to change it. I mean, I don't want to.
You want to win, man. There's something true, and hey, the numbers back that up. I mean, the truth is, you guys are the most giving spirit, and you're competitive, man. And listen,
big time.
Your numbers back it up. There's not many businesses that have been around for over 40 years that are growing at the exponential rate that you guys are growing. In fact, man, I mean, like, before we partnered with you, I've got the numbers. Before we partnered with you and now, you guys have actually grown. You're actually growing faster, like a lot faster, now that you're part of Integrity than even before. And this is, I mean, this winning is contagious, right? It's fun. You help people and you succeed.
Yeah, we're able to do all that. You know, you don't have to be a jerk to win at what we do. We, you know, me and Kimball and, I mean, all these guys that I've competed against for so many years, I mean, it's now we're all doing it together. So we can compete internally for each other. I mean, it's good. We drive each other. So we can help more people. I mean, it's neat, man. Yeah, we broke our first quarter record this year. And Integrity's had a big part of that. Yeah, of all time. I mean, we're going to continue to rock and roll while taking care of our employees and staff. You know, it's been great, and all the people that I've been surrounded by. I mean, I can't take really a lot of credit for anything. I mean, I've been very fortunate to have a lot of people around me that really wanted to do well with me, and you know, as a team. You know, there's like you always say, and I love it. I mean, but rising tides raise all boats. I mean, it's true. I love it, and it's been the best thing we've ever done. It's provided security for us to focus on growing and not worry about. I mean, I can't imagine, honestly, without the backing of Integrity, what we'd be doing right now. We haven't laid off any employees. That's amazing. My neighbor is an anesthesiologist, and he's down 30% of his business.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. We're fortunate, and you know, we appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you and y'all's leadership, and like I said, the culture. John, thank you so much for joining us today, brother. I love you, man.
Yes. Hey, thank you so much.
Your heart.
Love you, brother. It's been an honor.
I appreciate your heart, man. It's guys, this is what it's all about: is how do we come together, how do we serve others, and continue to help Americans plan for these products that they need. So join us tomorrow. We're going to have another amazing podcast. I can't wait to continue this journey with all of you guys. if we all do our part in helping others, we will all be successful. So,
Bryan, I got to say one thing.
Yeah.
Bryan, I got to say one thing real quick. So, because I talked to Alan Town, he inspired me to do something. I'm not challenging anyone else to do anything, no pressure at all, but he really did. And I don't know Alan. I really don't know him that well, but have gotten to know him maybe over the past, 3 or 4 days. And, man, his call inspired me to do a little something in our local community. So I've been in talks with a local Mexican restaurant in Hot Springs that was probably about to go bust, about providing like tacos for the police station, for the fire department, for the hospitals. And I don't want any donations. I'm doing this on my own personally. But I just, like we were talking about giving, I mean, what a great thing to do. If you're able to do it, I would just encourage everybody to maybe help in your local communities, if you can. This is not a sales pitch. This is just something that I wanted to share because Alan I got him on the phone. He got me so fired up about, and by the way, he is, I don't want to get onto that, but he's a great guy.
He's motivational, yeah, absolutely.
Very much so, and I love that stuff. And so he got me so fired up. I mean, I don't want to break myself, but he really, really, really has a passion for this, and I think and as we do too, I just wasn't looking at it from that perspective like I should have. And he enlightened me on it, and he inspired me to do something locally. So we're going to be doing some stuff locally in our town to help the local business and the first responders. And, I just encourage anybody that can do that, that's willing and able to do it. I mean, how blessed are we that we all have jobs? I mean, everybody on this call has a job. I mean, I have doctors next door to me that don't have jobs.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, John, that proves your heart, and so thank you for adding that in. The Muffin Man of Sarasota, Alan Town, was he sends muffins every week to the doctors and the hospital, just to encourage them during this time. And so I love the idea of what you're talking about here, John, about us all. You don't have to do anything huge. You could send them notes, right? A handwritten note. Your kids could sit down and make those notes and just say thank you. Like just that type of stuff, just to recognize their sacrifice during this time. And do it in your local community. I mean, we all have hospitals and fire departments and police departments, people who have had to do things that a lot of us, frankly, haven't had to deal with. And so I love that message. I love what you're doing there, and I'm going to look for ways to do that in my own town. So thank you, buddy. Appreciate you guys.
Absolutely, brother. Yep.
All right, everybody, have a great day, and let us know if there's anything anybody needs. We'll talk to you guys soon. Talk tomorrow. Love you guys.